Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good weekend. The Troskovich Tailor is about to not have a very good weekend, and welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So, in order to secure entry to the wedding at Samine and speak to Lord von Berghoff, courtesy of Miller Crazil, I'm going to need a couple of things. A fancy dress, some fancy perfume, and a fancy young lady willing to submit herself to the attentions of Lord von Berghoff's Chamberlain. First things first, fancy new dress for the party. Now unfortunately the Troskovich Tailor has changed his locks since my last visit. Fortunately, however, I've improved my thievery skill since then, and I'm actually able to get through a hard lock, and in picking that lock I've actually improved my thievery. So I get to pick a new thieving perk. I quite like the look of this quick hand. With this perk, pickpocketing and lockpicking is a lot quieter, so anybody nearby is much less likely to notice that I'm doing it. I mean, none of these thieving and stealth skills are useless, but I think the quick hand one is probably of more immediate benefit. So we're going to take that. Now, another sort of good news, bad news situation. I have improved my thievery, and I am able to pick hard locks, but I am not able to pick very hard locks. And that chest, that's a very hard lock. And I'm willing to bet that that is where the tailor is keeping his really, really expensive stuff, like the Tyrol brocade dress that I'm here to steal. So I have a couple of options. I could go away, pick some other locks, improve my lock-picking skill, and then come back in a couple of days once it's at a sufficient level where I can have a go at picking a very hard lock. Or I can head over the road to the tailor's house, find him asleep in his bed, pick his pockets and try to get the key for this chest. Or I could just cheat and use a quick finger potion. That's assuming I have one, of course. There we go, and it's a strong one. This increases craftsmanship and, more importantly, thievery by 6 for 40 minutes, which now means, I still have to actually succeed in picking the lock, and it's a very hard lock, but with the increased temporary thievery skill, I'm at least able to attempt it. Come on, there we go. Right. I don't have an awful lot of excess carrying capacity because I've already helped myself to a bunch of stuff from the tailor's shop. The really, really expensive stuff like the horse armour, the caparisons, but they're kind of heavy as well. There's a lot of cloth. Gets used when you're armouring a horse. I don't even know whether or not this dress is in here. Here's all the horse armour. This stuff is... Oh, there we go. Tyrol, brocade, something French. So you know it's fancy. And he's got 2 of them. And now I'm overburdened. Okay, what can I ditch? A carpenter's axe? Yeah, that'll bring me under the weight limit, and it's not that expensive. I think I'll help myself to the 320 groschen that he's got stored in here, grab a couple of repair kits, and then we'll get out of here. And then it's off to spend the night at the Zelioff Wagoner's Inn for a couple of reasons. 1, got a room there, and 2, this is where the bathhouse is. And I'm going to need to employ the services of a young lady who's prepared to submit herself to the affections of Lord von Berghoff's Chamberlain. And the bathhouse wenches at the Zelioff Wagoner's Inn fit the bill for that perfectly. I'm just going to have to talk to Dorothy, the bathhouse owner, first, which is rarely a pleasant experience.
How can I help you today?
Crazil has an offer for you.
That old goat always sends you whenever he needs something. What does he want this time?
He's looking for a girl to pose as a lady.
A lady? You mean a noblewoman?
Something like that.
Well, I don't know if any of my girls could pull it off. They can't even eat like a noble with cutlery.
That won't be a problem. She won't even have to say much.
Why does he need one? Not for himself, I hope.
No. He wants her to turn the Chamberlain's head.
Ah, so she's supposed to end up with Ulrich, is that it? How much is he offering?
He says he can offer enough groschen for you to buy 2 cows. Or a small cottage.
It's quite a lot for our usual services.
And that's not all. The girl will get a beautiful red dress made from Tyrolean brocade. I've got it with me.
That sounds nice and all. But that ain't nearly enough for certain services.
I don't understand. An offer like that? What's the problem?
You know what? I'm tired of this. Let's go and see what the girls have to say. They'll tell you about what they've been through with the Master Chamberlain. Girls, come here. Right, girls. We have a messenger here from Goodman Crazil. Tell us what you wanted to ask.
Well, how's life here? Dorothy doesn't work you too hard, does she?
Cut the horse shit. He was asking about the Chamberlain. He wants a girl for him at the wedding.
God, anything but that. Dorothy, I actually have a lot of work to do, and...
Well, who wants to go first? Anna.
What should I say?
What should she say?
Tell me, why don't you want anything to do with the Chamberlain?
Well, the Lord Chamberlain invited me to Trotsky, and the girls warned me that it would be different to what I was used to. So I asked him if I should take a different soap or something. Or does the Master Chamberlain not like silk? Or if his bed is hard and my back will hurt.
If only.
But they said I'd have to do things that... How'd you put it?
Things they haven't even thought of in hell.
I thought the Master Chamberlain might be of a different religion, and that fucking a Christian girl would be a sin. But he believes in the same God as the rest of us.
Which makes it all the worse.
Then I thought maybe he was cruel to the girls, but I hear that's not the case either. It's not what he wants to do to us that's against God.
But what he wants us to do to him.
I thought he had leprosy.
Tell the girls how much Crazil is offering.
Enough that you'll be able to buy 2 cows.
Or even a small cottage. Not bad, eh? Well, is anyone willing to go with the Chamberlain?
Not even for a golden goose.
I'd rather be celibate.
I thought he had leprosy.
Aye, but it's a tidy sum. I reckon I'll have to choose one of you myself.
Dorothy, I swear that
I'm not going anywhere. You can't make me.
Dorothy, I'll scrub all the tubs here for the rest of my life. I swear. All of them. Every day.
I'll do that too, and I'll even take care of the outhouses.
Girls, come now.
I'll go then. If I can handle it a second time, it'll be a miracle. And maybe they'll even make me a saint.
No, you can't. Dorothy, please don't make her do that again.
Dorothy, for the love of God.
Calm down, girls. Don't worry. I'll never send you to the Chamberlain again. I just wanted to show Crazil's lackey here what you've been keeping from me for so long.
Christ almighty. I was starting to accept my fate.
God in heaven.
I feel filthy just thinking about it. I'd like to jump in a bath.
So, in case you didn't get the message, lad, no girl from Zhelioff is going with the Chamberlain.
But what's the problem?
I still don't get it. What's so terrible about him?
Weren't you listening?
What he demands is just... heathen it is.
It's worse than if he had leprosy.
She just keeps going on about leprosy.
He's not a sodomite, is he?
If only.
That would be a doddle.
I'd go with him twice if that's all it was.
You don't want to know, believe me.
All right.
I kind of do, though.
What am I supposed to do now?
Do what you like. We've said our piece. Go and find some heathen girl. A harlot like that came here recently, asking for work. She was from them nomads.
Aye, I remember her. Nose in the air, talking fancy like some scholar.
She introduced herself as Emmeline of Winterthur, like she was some noblewoman.
I didn't trust her for a moment. She was pretty, though. There's no denying that. I wanted to give her a chance, but she asked for so much coin. I thought I must be hearing things. Try asking after her in the camp. Maybe she's got a stronger stomach than my girls.
Poor thing.
I'll pray for her.
Well, thank you.
Praised be Jesus Christ.
Greetings.
I really kind of want to know what's so bad about the Chamberlain that none of the bathhouse wenches want anything to do with him. Even for enough money to buy a cottage. So, apparently there's somebody at the nomad camp who fancies themselves as a bit of a lady who might be up for the job. And actually, you know, I really do need to get around to taking on Tomcat in a duel and having him teach me the Master Strike. So, I'm looking for somebody who goes by the name of Emmeline, and since I have absolutely no idea who she is or what she looks like, I should probably start asking around. We'll start with the Gypsy Camp Voivod, the head man.
I hear there's an Enelin living here with you. Where can I find her?
Emmeline is a city girl, used to precious things. So we had her watch the horses. They worth something. If you don't find her at our forest stables, she might have gone to the pond for water.
Alright, we'll check at the horses first. Oh, hello. This is her.
Are you Mistress Eneline of Winterthur?
Winterthur, Lyon, Vienna. It doesn't matter. What do you want?
I'm Henry. I was sent by Miller Crazil. We have a job offer for you.
Huh. How did you find out about me?
Your reputation precedes you, miss.
All the way? You're only saying that to please me, aren't you? But it's sweet of you. But be that as it may, what's the job?
To go to the Samine wedding with us. As a companion.
A wedding, you say? The last time I was at a wedding was in Nevers, France. I had to sing there. I'd like to avoid that this time.
You don't have to sing. Or even say much. All you have to do is behave like a lady.
Behave like a lady? Do you mind? I am one. Or hadn't you noticed?
Sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
All right, then. How much?
Oh yeah, great lady. Taking care of the horses in a gypsy camp.
Crazil's offering enough to buy 2 cows.
Cows? Me? I was offered an estate for my services in Antwerp, and a 30-foot gondola in Venice. Although this is only Trotsky after all, I can't expect too much in this backwater. All right then, I'll do it. But first, tell me this. What can I expect at this Samine?
You can expect to do the job you're getting fucking paid to do, but yeah, okay, fair enough.
Instead of singing, you'll be able to dance.
Lovely. And what else?
Now that Trotsky is closed, there's no more prominent stronghold in the region than Samine Fortress. Someone will surely give you a tour and show you the magnificently decorated chambers.
Tempting. Tempting. And what else?
I even hear Lord Otto von Berghoff will be there. The Lord of Trotsky. Someone will surely introduce you to him. Well, and wherever von Berghoff goes, he's followed by the second most important man in the domain. The Chamberlain of Trotsky, Sir Ulrich von Schaumburg.
The Chamberlain? As in the castle caretaker? I'm not interested in some little clerk.
You should be. He's the one Crazil wants you to pay attention to at the wedding.
Pay attention? How?
Well, you simply have to seduce him.
I beg your pardon. Do you take me for some cheap whore? A harem girl? A brothel wench? A bathhouse hussy?
Well, yeah, he did try to get work as a bathhouse hussy.
That's the plan. And
Silence! I am Emmeline, a companion, a courtesan. I am courted by gentlemen vying for my favour. I have been a concubine in Krakow, a mistress in Venice, and a gentleman's companion in Basel. My name is known in Brandenburg, Marseille, and Malopolska. I have fulfilled the wildest wishes of the most important commanders of Sigismund's army. Until he stopped paying, the ginger bastard, I'll do my work the way I see fit. Got that?
All right. Got it.
I should hope so. So, to the point. What do you want from the Chamberlain?
A fancy whore is still a whore.
Crazil will tell you himself. Before we go to the wedding.
You men and your secrets. All right then, I'll wait for Crazil. But why not? I expect it won't be anything too complicated, and the coin is certainly worth it.
Not so fast. It won't be that easy with the Chamberlain.
Why do you think that?
Just so you know, Crazil originally wanted to take a bath wench to the wedding, but the girls said they didn't want anything to do with him because of his special tastes. I asked them what's behind it, and, well, some wanted to vomit after meeting him. Others said they started considering the convent.
Poor girls. Here in the arse end of the world, girls are no doubt used to just lying on their backs and staring up at the ceiling.
Well, it seems it's not about what Chamberlain Schaumburg did to them, but what he wanted them to do to him.
I knew a Schaumburg from Nuremberg, and he was a hermaphrodite. He had both, things. A respected person, a member of the town council. It can catch you off guard, because you don't know what you're getting into. Maybe it's also the case with the local bath wenches. But I don't want to make fun of the girls. Not everyone wants to try new tricks, if you know what I mean. I must say, I'm quite curious about the Chamberlain now.
We're agreed, then?
Certainly. Believe me, it takes a lot to put me off. And just in case, there's this potion I carry around. A couple of drops and the Chamberlain will sleep like a log. Except I've run out of wine. I should have some at hand, just to be sure.
There'll be lots of wine at the wedding.
I suppose. But I won't complain if you find me something beforehand. There's one more thing, though. I don't think anyone will believe I'm a lady in these old rags.
Don't worry about that. Crazil told me to get hold of a dress and some perfume for you.
What dress?
A red one. Tyrolean brocade.
Brocade. I like it. Crazil clearly knows what he's doing.
I've got hold of the dress for you already.
Clever boy. I can't wait. Are you going to the wedding as well?
As your bodyguard.
Well, well. Don't you look nice? With a bodyguard looking like that, I'd have to shine like a gem as well. And as for that perfume, it ought to be one that lasts a long time.
Crazil suggested Minter.
I'll take his word for it. Hurry up, then. We don't want to keep the Chamberlain waiting.
Okay. Well, I've got the dress. She wants some fancy wine, but that's not a problem. I can just buy that or steal it. And the perfume, which I can make with alchemy. So I'm now basically all set to go to the wedding with Miller Crazil. Before I do that, though, there's a couple of other things that I need to get done. One thing that I've been putting off for a while because I got my arse handed to me the first time I tried it, and that's to defeat the Gypsy Weapon Master, Tomcat, in a duel, so he'll teach me the Master Strike. And the first time I got my ass handed to me because, well, I didn't have any armour. And Tomcat's a bit of a badass. You try to take him on in a duel, armoured with nothing more than a couple of bits of cheap and nasty padded and quilted cloth armour, and he basically one-shots you. But that was then, and this is now. And I not only have much, much better armour, although there's still plenty of room for improvement, but I also have a couple of potions that can help out.
I challenge you to a duel.
Good. Come and join me in the arena.
This is a real duel, by the way. We're not using wooden training weapons. These are real longswords. I mean, we're not fighting to the death, but you can still get seriously hurt doing this.
Shall we begin?
Let's begin. Defend yourself. Useless!
Couple of things to be aware of that perhaps haven't been made clear in previous videos. If you look at the various different coloured bars at the bottom of the screen, the yellow one that's recharging, that's my stamina bar. Do not ever let your stamina bar deplete, because when it's depleted you can no longer attack or defend yourself, and when your stamina bar is depleted, if you take a hit, you take serious damage. The purple bar, that's my opponent's health, and I've found that the trick to beating Tomcat is to wear down his stamina. Even though you can't see it, you'll know he's out of stamina because he stops attacking, and then he becomes vulnerable to attack.
So, do you think I have what it takes?
All right. You deserve to be taught the Master Strike. Here's a training sword so he won't get hurt.
Let's get to it.
The pinnacle of swordsmanship are so-called Master Strikes. You can only perform a technique like that with a sword, no matter if it's short or long, or if you're using a shield. What you do need is a blade and a guard that protects your hands. Master Strike is a technique that allows you to counter an opponent's attack with your own. A swordsman that can learn such a technique is undefeatable. Let me show you. Attack me from the right. Watch and learn! Now you try. Master Strikes are what elevates the swords above other weapons, and there is no defense against them. You've learned how to parry your opponent's attack with a properly timed block, but this time, you attack instead of blocking. Timing and direction are everything. Hit your opponent at the right time and from the right angle. I'll attack slowly from above. You take up position with your sword below and strike against my attack. But enough talk. Come and try it yourself. That's more like it. All right, let's try it once more. But this time, I'll attack from the side. Now pay attention. If I hold my sword to the left, put yours to the right. If I'm on the right, get ready on the left. Master Strike works only with an opposite strike. Otherwise, it's the same. You strike when I begin my attack. Ready?
Always.
Good. Again. That's the way. You're getting the hang of it. Now let's try it for real. I'll fight you normally, and you have to pay attention to which direction I'm attacking from. Then attack from the opposite side.
I understand. Let's start.
You're getting the hang of it. Again. No, you need to attack too. Snap out of it.
The reason why the Master Strike is so powerful is because there is basically no defense against it.
Beautiful. Try it again.
And it avoids getting into a series of blocks, parries and ripostes and blocks and that just drain your stamina without actually inflicting any damage on your opponent.
That's not it. You have to attack me too. Excellent. That's enough. Here's a few more tips. If your opponent knows how to perform a Master Strike, don't give them an opportunity to use it. Try not to attack from the opposite side. Now for the most important part. You can use a Master Strike to defend against an opponent's riposte. After a perfect block, your positions are always set. Your opponent knocks your sword to the left, then attacks with a riposte to the right. Until that point, you could only defend yourself with a perfect block. Now you can surprise your opponent with a Master Strike that he hasn't a hope of blocking. Understand?
Seems like a lot to take in, but it is actually pretty simple. Instead of blocking, you're counter-attacking with a perfect attack.
I think I understand.
Good. That's all I can teach you. Now, it's up to you to learn how to use the Master Strike in combat.
I'll do my best. Thanks, Tomcat.
This Master Strike is basically an I win button, because if you can get it right, your opponent will never land an attack and cannot defend against your counter. And even if your opponent knows the Master Strike themselves, you can just beat them by never attacking first and just using the Master Strike against them when they attack you. And the other thing that I needed to do before going with Miller Crazil and Enline to the wedding at Samine is to forget all about it and go and see the blacksmith at Tatchoff, because there are two separate quest lines that will get you to the wedding at Samine. And there's no reason, unless you're in some kind of rush, why you can't do them both.
May God give you health, sir. What do you need, sir? It's about those two idiot hands of mine. Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Samine. And they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up. And especially the cargo. Go to Samine and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Samine that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Samine.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long. But these days, I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Samine wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Samine's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
And thus starts the quest line to get into the wedding at Samine with the help of the blacksmith, Radovan here in Tachov. You can do both of the quests, and like I said, unless you're in any particular rush, you probably should because they're both great. Although you will have to choose one or the other at the culmination of both quest lines. Either way, both Crazil and Radovan can help you get into the wedding. So following the cart's trail to Samine means going past Troskovitz. And that leads us past the Wagoners Inn at Zelyov.
Everything all right?
Where we have this random encounter.
What's going on?
Do you have any coin to spare?
Tell me, how come you're begging? What happened to you?
Allow me to disabuse you of your misconception. I am no beggar. I simply find myself in a bind compelling me to rely on the kindness of good people.
So, you're begging?
But I'm not a beggar.
And yet here you are, begging.
Why are you asking for charity? Fancy an ale, eh? The amount you're looking for, it sounds like you plan on downing a whole keg.
That wouldn't go amiss, but really, I need the coin so I can travel to Vlashim.
That's quite a way.
I've always found it to be a day or two's ride.
But I don't see any horse.
I don't have one. That is true. I'll join a caravan, ride along, pay for my way, my provisions and such.
Begging, but not a beggar, and he needs money to get to Vlashim. Oh, I've come across a fair few beggars before, but none have ever said that to me.
Must be a coincidence?
Look, I'm not handing over 150 groschen without a good reason.
Look, you can tell me what's going on here.
I can't. You're prying way too much as it is.
I'm not going to do you any harm. What would I get out of that? If you're some sort of thief, so be it. Do I look like a catchpole hunting down criminals? That's the last thing I need. If you tell me what's going on, maybe I can be of help.
My name is Odolin von Wottitz. My father is Albert von Wottitz.
So you're a nobleman?
That I am.
What really happened?
I escaped from prison.
Why were you in prison?
I was a hostage. My father fell out with a couple of noblemen from the League of Lords. This rankled them, so they ambushed me one day as I was running errands for my father. Then everything happened so fast. They detained me and sent my father a message. If your son's life matters to you, you won't make any trouble. He had no choice but to do what they said. These are tough times, eh?
This is how nobles used to routinely settle their problems with each other.
How did you escape?
Well, I gradually figured out who was guarding me and when. One of the guards used to come into my chamber and talk to me from time to time.
You had a chamber? No dungeon?
No. You don't keep a nobleman detained like a murderer, waiting for the news. I had a room where I was guarded.
All right. Carry on.
Well, I steadily worked on that guard. Once he was convinced I wasn't going to escape, he stopped being so attentive, and I managed to pinch his key. Then I just snuck out that night, and that was it.
Sounds like you got pretty lucky.
Lucky or not, I had no wish to spend another moment in that chamber.
I can spare you a few coins. It's a lot more than I normally give, I have to say.
Thank you so much. May the Lord repay your kindness.
You can believe this guy, or not, give him money, or not. As it stands, I can certainly afford 150 groschen. In fact, I can afford 300.
Do you know what? No one should forcibly be kept away from their family. And certainly not on account of some lordly quarrel. Take more. Here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You will be seeing this guy again later. Much, much later.
Farewell. I hope you make it home safely.
Thanks.
And your generosity here is going to pay dividends. Well, I follow the road from Takov, through Zelyov, through Troskovitz, and eventually to Samine. I see no sign of the blacksmith's cart by the time I arrive at Samine's fortress. So whatever happened to the blacksmith's 2 labourers and the cart full of gear and the horses? They didn't arrive here.
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Samine is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck what you frae. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yarko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that.
Have you noticed how all the drunks in this game are Scottish? Except for this guy, who's pretending to be Scottish, and not doing a particularly good job. You probably have to be British to be able to tell the difference, but that guy's about as Scottish as Kentucky Fried Chicken. And he's going to get a good slapping. There's a whole unarmed combat thing in this game as well, with exactly the same mixture of combos and strikes as armed combat. And learning a fist fight can actually be quite profitable, because each town kind of has its own fight club. Miller Crazil's boys down in Lower Samine run a sort of fight club, and I have managed to beat all of them and learn a few things in the process. Which means this cheeky bastard is going to get his teeth loosened. Talk to me like I'm a servant.
Come on, oh, you wee
What in the devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. when you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that wine?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samine's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
You say Radovan sent you, eh? Some trouble with that cart, is it, lad?
Yes. Actually, it seems to have vanished.
My God! Anyway, Lord Samine should hear whatever it is you want to tell me. But we can't go rousing him at this hour, can we? Come back in the morning. Or at least before noon.
All right. I'll come then.
All right. I'll go and get some shut-eye too. If I can manage it over the racket them drunken Moravians are making.
And that's Captain Gnarly, Lord Samine's captain of the guard. And he's a bit of a badass too. And thus begins the blacksmith questline to get into the wedding at Samine. Something's happened to an entire cart full of the blacksmith's goods. They didn't arrive at Samine as they were supposed to, which means somebody's been up to no good, and one way or another, we're going to be getting to the bottom of it. All of that to come in a future episode. In the meantime, hope you've enjoyed this one, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.